Could concerns about same-sex marriage soon become a reality in the Bahamas? Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley.
And good evening, I'm Charisma Robinson. The question of same-sex marriage may be tested in the Supreme Court very soon. Attorney Wayne Monroe QC says he has consulted two same-sex couples who are considering getting married in the Bahamas.
He told ZNS News today that the couples, one male and one female, approached him before the referendum with the prospect of challenging the ban on same-sex marriage and were awaiting Tuesday's referendum outcome before moving forward.
I had been consulted before the referendum because homosexual persons were hearing that there's issues about whether you could or could not have gay marriage in the Bahamas. Before the referendum, both Fred Smith QC and I made it plain that in our opinion it was possible. It was on that basis that I was consulted by at least two couples. I'm quite sure Fred may have been consulted by some persons, and they sought advice, and I certainly rendered them advice to the extent that if the vote went yes, a case to succeed would be more difficult because the government would have the ability to discriminate, but if it went no, then the law would remain as it were, and they would be free to move. Those persons, as far as I know, are still considering their options, whether they should move to seek to get married here or get married abroad and simply return home.
Though gay marriage was not on the ballot on referendum day, June 7, some sectors seem to be repelled by Bill number 4, which was viewed as an impetus to gay marriage. Meantime, Monroe says if the couples, neither of whom he's spoken to since the referendum, do decide to go ahead with the challenge, it would likely begin this way.
The starting point is to get a marriage license. I went through that exercise for them when they called back after the referendum. Interestingly, looking at the marriage license form, there's nothing to limit it to a man and a woman. And so the first step, if you want to get married, for those of us who remember, is you apply for the marriage license. The Registrar General will either issue that marriage license or refuse to issue that marriage license. I'm made to understand that in some other countries, the next step is that you will seek judicial review to compel the Registrar General to issue the marriage license.